Namaste. My name's Darcy, and I'm one of Guruji's students. I wanted to report on what transpired during and after a healing, a 10-minute healing by Guruji at my request for my foot. Just to kind of give you a brief history, I probably about a week or so ago started walking barefoot because I had a lot of energy through the form, and so I needed to release it. So I decided that I would try to walk barefoot more often. So I did that a few days. I guess it started Saturday, and then Monday, probably Tuesday, and then Thursday morning. And by Thursday evening, now I don't know if it's connected or not, but by Thursday evening, my foot was itching really bad. So I thought maybe I got an insect bite all over my foot because it was just my left foot, my toes. But it turns out it may be some kind of like a fungus infection. It kind of almost acted like shingles. If you ever had shingles or know anybody had shingles, they start off with little dots and they itch, and then they develop into blisters, and then during that time you can get like really nerve pain. So that's what I was getting. It had those little dots had kind of they all blistered, not all of them, but a few of them, and under my foot I was getting a lot of pain, not terrible pain, but it was like nerve-ending pain under on the bottom of the front of my foot. So that was kind of uncomfortable. So I did ask Guruji for some help. She did it long distance. I'm in Hawaii. She's in Florida. So she did offered a 10-minute session this afternoon, so that was about maybe 1:15 Hawaii time. And so so just to kind of give you an idea of what happened, I didn't know what to expect, really. I was just wanting some kind of relief, and then even just to check to see if this was like for real or not, so and I've always been a skeptic of everything, even though things happen, you just gotta have to experience yourself to really see if there's some truth in that. So during the session, as soon as it happened, as soon as we started, and we did this over the phone, and as soon as we started, the energy just came rushing through. And just to kind of let you know that I do experience a transmission just doing the practices that she offers her students. And so I do have to limit that to a certain degree to keep the energy down. So, but this was immediate. The energy was immediate coming through the form, and it was just non-stop. So it would come in, seize up the body, and when it releases, what really comes out is just like jaw. That's what it sounds like. So anyhow, and so that, I mean, so during that 10-minute session, this energy kept coming through, just really intense. It's like sticking your finger in a socket, and it doesn't hurt or anything, you know. It's just, you just can't really do anything. So I did feel the left foot. It had a different sensation during that 10-minute period. Like it felt like on a numb side. That's the only kind of description I can put to it. Not totally numb, not pins and needles numb, but more like a, yeah, it's hard to explain, but maybe more like a, you could feel that there was something, you know, a different, it was like a different sensation, not painful or anything, but that's the closest description I can put to it. Of course, the other thing that the energy was doing when it would come through the form, and usually when it does come through the form, the body would go and start doing mudras. So I did have one hand on, one hand did go across the chest as usual. That's kind of like the norm, or when the energy comes in and it's doing its spontaneous movement. So one hand would be on the chest like this. On the other hand was on the left thigh, and I was kind of sitting with my left leg out, because I didn't want to be sitting on my foot or anything. I wanted to have that out there, and so Guruji just asked me to focus on that area, and so I did. But that was what stood out, was that different sensation during that healing process. The other thing that was kind of interesting was, as the hand was from the right hand on the chest, it moved out facing forward, and what had happened was that I'm not so sure how far into it, but you know, and the 10-minute goes by really fast. It's like it feels like it was only like 2 minutes. But anyhow, the hand went up, still in that mudra position, and then it started flaying around like it was rubber, and in all kinds of directions. I wouldn't even be able to mimic it right now, but that was really interesting. And the interesting part about it is that I did have I've been dealing with some wrist pain for the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks or so. I think it was because my mouse at work broke, and so I was using another one that kind of operated differently. So I was thinking, okay, maybe the reason why my wrist has been hurting so much is because I'm using different muscles to operate it. Anyhow, you know, from this motion with the thumb trackball, and then to this motion. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure if that was really the deal. But that was the only thing that has been going on that's been different, you know. So anyhow, but that was interesting, is seeing that this hand just kind of move around like that. That was really interesting. So, and anyhow, so those are the two things that kind of stood out. And it sounded like Guruji was also experiencing some sensations through her form during this as well. So there's definitely a transmission when, as far as we are, you know, there's definitely a transmission that comes through, and it was immediate. So as soon as that session started, the energy just came rushing through. Yeah, and I and looking back on it, it probably would do it so that you'd have at least an hour or two afterwards to kind of let it, as Guruji put it, percolate. Because I had to go back to work, and I could have just sat, outside, or just sat in quietude for a while. But so when I did go back to work, it was I could feel myself kind of like the focus or the attention just kind of falling out, just kind of going into quietude. So it was, it took about maybe an hour or so just to kind of really not have to like put so much attention or focus into just being focused into what I was doing at the time. So yeah, there was a strong tendency just to kind of like have the focus just fall, and going into that quietude, into that silence. There's nothing going on. So anyhow, but I just wanted to share that. We'll see how things go. I mean, it was only a 10-minute session. This is what I wanted to share. Up until the session, I was still getting that those off and on pains on the bottom of my foot. I haven't felt that since, so I haven't been feeling that pain. I don't know, it looks okay. There's probably maybe one or two areas that the blistering is still there, There's a couple areas that look like it's about to. It's like that right before it does it. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, whether it does develop to the next phase of that blistering or not. But hopefully not. Would be nice to go back surfing again. So I don't know what it is or anything. It could be athlete's foot, or Ed was thinking, maybe it was just ant bites. Who knows? I don't know. I'm thinking it's the former. Whatever the case is, we'll see how the condition is in the next day or two, and I'd imagine everything will be well. So anyhow, I'm just grateful to be able to share this with you, and I guess I'll let you know how things are going. But I could show you. Let's see how you work this thing. Sorry. I was gonna show you, but I don't know how you work this camera. But anyhow, thanks for taking time to watch, and have a good day. Namaste.